I mean, lasers? Really? To change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. For decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control, but...
Now, the most amazing thing is that that cloud up there, which was generated by the engine, is just a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet washing. It will actually rain. It's raining! That's unbelievable! Oh. NASA's playing God.
Let me introduce you to Danielle here. Danielle, you just arrived. Share with us how you were rescued.
Some guys had called our phone and asked us where we were. We was waiting for the police for like 36 hours and they never came.
And I'm actually a police officer.
Long line of people over there just now getting here, and there are thousands of people in here, but I can't go and show you for public, like, privacy reasons. And Sergeant Sanchez of HPD just got through threatening to arrest people if they wanted something to eat. Now, members of the Red Cross are supposedly trying to find food because they can't find it. However, members of certain police departments are getting steaks and hamburgers and fresh food, while, mind you, this is actually food from yesterday. So, and they have like tubs and tubs and tubs of the food, but they won't feed the people.
I chose not to go inside yesterday because the Salvation Army and Russian Winds homeless shelter, where they were accepting people, were caught killing everybody that was in there.
Now, you're with your children. We've heard of stories of mothers trying to save their children from the rushing waters. Can you tell us how that was?
Through 4 feet of water to go get them food on the first day. Yeah, that's a lot of shit. But y'all sitting here, y'all trying to interview people during their worst times. Like, that's not the smartest thing to do. Like, people are really breaking down, and y'all sitting here with cameras and microphones trying to ask us what the fuck is wrong with us.
So I'm so
and
sorry,
you really trying to understand it with the microphone still in my face, with me shivering cold, with my kids wet, and you still putting the microphone in my face.
Sorry.
Russia Flores, it sounds like you've got a very upset family there. We're going to take a break from that.
I think they think that the church was not open and that the words were that it was closed due to severe flooding, and the video evidence seemed to show, listen, there was no flooding at the church. Why wasn't it not open immediately, I think is the bottom line.
Our doors have always been open. We received people even as soon as the water started receding, but we worked with the city constantly. The city set up a shelter about 4 miles from here that can house 10,000 people, showers, dormitories, kitchens, security, all that. They didn't need us as a shelter.
People up along the way, and as you can hear, they don't exactly love seeing that either. These people are willing to protest anything.
All right, buddy, come on, get up for that water. No, don't go backwards. No, man, we got a car in a ditch. We just pulled a fellow out. Are you all right now, buddy? Yeah. All right, take your breath, and we're going to pick you up. We're going to get you off of this bank. Okay? Right, we're going to get you off of this bank. We just literally rescued this guy out. You can see his car, John. I don't know, Brian, you working on that video. This man just accidentally drove into a ravine that looked like a road, didn't it?
In Briar Force. And Alex, before we say go ahead.
It's Alex.
So this guy in the car needs to get rescued.
For you and me, but this is Art, and it's great to have you here, and we appreciate you being
We just see the Jeep back there going by, right? He done fell.
Before we even get to where you are and what's going on, I have to say, yesterday I was listening to you on the air, and you talked about people.
He got his shoes out.
And their perception of what's been happening.
Catch my Jordans. Catch my Jordans. My Jordans can't go down. They cannot get wet. Okay.
Talk to us a little bit about that and how those.
Okay, we got a boat, but the guy's standing, right? It comes to the knees, right? Okay.
By the rest of the nation, if not the world.
So he coming out the roof of his car.
Well, it's great to talk to you both on air. I've been watching.
He getting on the little raft, little boat, because if he He falls in the water, he's gonna drown. Here we go. That's a major rescue right there. I need y'all to stop. This has got to stop. Trapped! He could have got, see, yesterday, my husband had to swim to his grandma's house to pull grandma out the house because the water was up to, like, what, the neck? And I'm done. Houston, I need you to stop.
When disaster strikes, Americans have come to expect donation campaigns by the American Red Cross.
Please donate now to help people affected by Hurricane Harvey.
But now there is a campaign against the massive aid organization. Hundreds of tweets like, "Don't give Red Cross your money." Very little, if any, goes to those that need it. The criticism mounting after a Red Cross executive interviewed on NPR couldn't say how much would go to Texans.
You don't know what proportion of the total amount is that relief?
No, I really don't.
In 2014, an NPR and ProPublica investigation found the Red Cross misstated how money is spent. After the devastating earthquake in Haiti, a report by Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley found 1/4 of Red Cross donations went to administrative costs.
Now, my last rant will be on the Red Cross. Because the Red Cross, if anybody wants to donate to the Red Cross, please call me. I beg you not to send them a penny. They are the most inept, unorganized organization that I've ever experienced. I've been in Kingwood fighting this thing, and we have not seen one person, not a single person from the Red Lost. Yet, every time I turn on the TV, they're receiving multi hundreds of millions of dollars. What are you guys doing with it?
And they were loading up with as many people, it's got to be dozens of people in the back of the thing. They take them to a nearby Walmart, and then the Walmart is where, I guess, Metro buses or school buses will take them to the shelter.
And he captured a video of the U.S. military processing American citizens into an internment camp. As the voice over the loudspeaker, well, you can hear him shouting, "We will not tolerate civil disobedience."
Attention, attention, attention. American forces are here to help. Remain calm. We will not tolerate civil disobedience.
Now, if this was practice for the Middle East, you'd think they'd say something like, "We will not tolerate civil disobedience" in Arabic.
Madam President, today I wanted to come down to the floor to speak very briefly about a resolution that the majority leader introduced, I believe, earlier today. This is an authorization for military force. This resolution is a total rewrite of the War Powers Clause of the United States Constitution. Let's be clear about that. It is essentially a declaration of international martial law.
Hello, I make this video not a happy man. I'm at the neighborhood Walmart in San Jose, California. And this is what it has become. I did not want to believe it, but it's happening.
Let's everybody on the ground do the work that they are well equipped to do. You know, it's an obvious man-made, I mean, not man-made, natural, incredible disaster that Texas is dealing with. Man-made.
We are back on a Saturday morning, and it is time to get your head into the clouds for a change.
That's because the International Cloud Atlas has released its first update in 30 years. Angel's over in the Orange Room with more on that. The International Cloud Atlas.
Yeah, guys. All right.
Talk about it every day.
Big day for me. Forget being on cloud 9. We are on cloud 12 because that's how many new types of clouds have been added to this historic update coming from meteorologists. I'm a little biased, right? Exciting stuff, guys. All right. So the new types include the Volatus or roll cloud, which has been designated as a whole new species. You can see it gets its name from this long horizontal tube-like shape. Next one up, we have the cavum or the hole punch cloud. This big circular gap is sometimes caused by aircraft.
Even before Hurricane Harvey made landfall Friday afternoon, Neil deGrasse Tyson considered it a teachable moment. Used the celebrated astrophysicist on Twitter that morning. Don't see much denial of NOAA climate scientists who have predicted Hurricane Harvey's devastating path into Texas. Others were not far behind.
It is fairly likely, certainly very likely, that the effects of this hurricane were exacerbated by climate change.
It's exactly the type of thing that the experts on climate have been predicting.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration officially lists extreme weather events as one of several phenomena occurring more frequently because of climate change.
We've got to stabilize the population. When I was born, there were
what's wrong with the population? I mean,
with too many people. That's why we have global warming. We have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff. But if there were less people, they'd be using less stuff.
Mr. Turner, I was wondering if you think it's a good idea to reduce 90% of the population because we are being overpopulated by a lot of
90%.
80? Prince Philip said 80, sir. I go with 85.
I think 2 billion is about right.
Right, me too. Thank you.
One-child family.
Exactly. One-child policy.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geo-engineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI.
Citizens movement demanding an explanation of chemtrails.
And I talked to my NSA buddies at Fort Carson, Peterson Air Force Base, and Buckley, where I was actually their doctor taking care of the pilots flying and spraying the chemtrails. So I know it's real. If anybody says it's not real, they're full of it.
Holy shit!
I've never seen it empty like this before, but I've seen it flooded plenty of times. But I've never seen nothing like this.
And are you at all worried about Irma coming?
I think we're pretty prepared for it. Our house is all boarded up and everything.
Take a listen here. This really captures the urgency, Wolf, of the situation where police squad cars are now going door to door telling people to evacuate. This is now a mandatory evacuation zone. One thing you have to clarify about mandatory evacuations, they can't force people from their homes. It is mandatory, but that is to express the real urgency and the need for you to get out, but they cannot physically go in and force people from their homes.
What do you think about the storm, the power, the ferocity, and the risk to your own safety at this point?
Well, at this point, I'm very relieved to discover that as we speak, the eye of the storm is practically due south of us by 220 miles, okay, because it's crossing the 80th meridian, which is 80 degrees west longitude. So I'm not so worried because it's so far away, and it's bearing as of 8 p.m. westbound.
What's up with this fake ass storm? Look at this shit. What the fuck is going on here? Y'all holding on tight for dear life?
The beach, all the way up to Jacksonville. This moves 20 miles to the west, and you and everyone you know are dead. All of you. Because you can't survive it. It's not possible unless you're very, very lucky. And your kids die too.
Seismologists say that the quake that will strike on our Pacific Northwest coastline should be even stronger, at up to a 9.2. This is going to go down, send a huge wall of water up. That wall will go all the way over to Japan, and the other will come onto our shore within 15 minutes. 700 miles long, and in some places up to a 100-foot high wall of water. Thousands and thousands will not escape. The New Yorker quotes a FEMA official who says, and I quote, "Our operating assumption is that everything west of Interstate 5 will be toast. Wiped out, altogether about 7 million people. That's not including tourists. So think of summertime."
Yeah. Still not Gulfport, Shepard.
No, I understood when Katrina came ashore and wiped out the southern part of the state of Mississippi. It was another thing indeed. This storm 2 days ago was worse than that.
And you and everyone you know are dead. All of you.
Yeah.
And your kids die too.
Well, that's what they tell us.
Is because some of these people, this is a new normal. They're never going to go back home. So they want to help them as much so that they're never just walking out of here and feeling like they're going back onto the street. They've worked with them throughout the process here to help them adjust to this new world order.
A new world order.
To this new world order.
To this new world order.
Massive chemtrail disbursement today. This is water vapor. This is condensation.
And your kids die too.
you